the sawmill at the far end of the valley.
Perimeter's clear. Still no sign of incursion. Keep alert.
Before we create any final art, we use placeholders to see if the gameplay is working, and to figure out the proper dimensions and shapes for the model. In this level we used an old pumpkin model as the placeholder for the Magnuson device. After we decided that the gameplay was fun and the pumpkin worked well, a proper model was created using the pumpkin as a template.
The massive Strider battle was in production longer than any other map in the episode. Tuning it required many months of testing and iteration to address playtester feedback, and this was complicated by the fact that every time we playtested, we saw individuals adopt completely different approaches to defeating the Striders. Some threw logs at the hunters, others relied on their rebel companions to kill them. Some players never sprinted, while others never used the car. We tried to keep supporting all the different strategies that occurred to players so that their experiments with tactics would be rewarding rather than frustrating. Meanwhile, we had to make sure the Strider and Hunter behaviors were consistent and balance the experience so that it would be great for all different playstyles at every skill level.
A great deal of work went into making sure players would see the buildings get destroyed as they travel around the valley in the final battle. While we cannot and do not wish to force the player to see these events, we try to increase the odds that the player would end up in the best possible position for the show. Measures ranged from simply hiding a Strider behind rocks to setting up complex logic conditions that must be met in order for the destruction to occur.
They're waiting for you in the sawmill. That way.
Episode 2's rocket defense battle was the largest and most non-linear combat experience we had built. It was also the first combat we created that required the use of a vehicle to move from battle to battle. Our design goal was to give players a broad directive, protect the rocket from incoming Striders, and let them decide how to accomplish that. Playtesting revealed a number of challenges that we had to overcome, as the free-form nature of the map led to huge variation in success for different players. Small differences in skill or tactics radically changed the difficulty of the experience for players. In response, we had to continually tune all aspects of the experience to support the wide variety of tactics and skill levels demonstrated in playtests.
So, they've sent Freeman, have they? Good man. We've counted a dozen Striders just north of us. Our job is to keep them from reaching the base to the south. If they get close enough for one good shot at the silo, the whole launch is a bust. And in case Striders aren't bad enough, recon indicates they're being escorted by packs of hunters. Now, what I want you to do...
Attention! North perimeter breach.
All right, people, this is it.
We have a Strider approaching from the cranes.
No!
Strider at the sawmill.
Oh, man, here we go again.
Many players had a hard time orienting themselves in the valley. Before the fight, we send players to the sawmill without telling them how to get there. This was a way of familiarizing them with the map without any time pressure. Still, the size and nonlinearity of the map was confusing for first-time players once the battle began. The loudspeaker announcements that direct players to incoming striders initially referred to compass directions, which most players couldn't follow because they couldn't remember which way was north. We added White Forest Peak as a global landmark and distinctive local landmarks like the cranes and the water tower, and referred to those landmarks in the announcements instead of compass directions. This helped, but some players still had a hard time knowing which way to go at any given moment. Our ultimate solution was the car's radar, which, along with the landmarks, helps players go where the action is.
An eye out. It looks like hunters are traveling with the Striders. They're working in packs.
85%. 100%.
Now we have a Strider coming in from the water tower.
The Hunter's escort behavior includes specific formations and flanking strategies. This environment was designed specifically to enhance those behaviors by providing cover and visually interesting paths. In this way, the environment reinforces the design of the Hunter as stealthy, aggressive, and intelligent.
Players under pressure can overlook basic tasks, so we try to make the important ones foolproof. On this map, players often forget to check their health level, but rarely forget to seek out Magnuson devices. We narrowed doorways and set health supply racks right by the entries, so that players rushing in to get explosives would find themselves automatically picking up vital supplies.
Get away with those Magnusons!
Oh, what the fuck?
Alert! There's a Strider getting close to the base. Another Strider from the water tower. Looks like that was the last one. Wait a minute. Get ready, everyone. We've spotted drop ships carrying even more Striders. We have about a minute before they hit, so gear up. This is gonna get ugly before it's over.
Goddamn miracle to get us out of this.
Attention! Attention! The Striders have been defeated! All personnel return to base immediately! Repeat! All personnel return to base immediately!
That was intense.
We made some small changes to our autosave system as a result of tuning the final Strider battle. Autosaves are the periodic checkpoints where we can restart the player's game after death so that they don't have to worry about replaying more of the game than necessary. In playtests, we observed that most players depended on our autosaves to restart after dying, rather than using their own quick saves. But because the fight allowed players so much freedom, some players ended up with an autosave that left them in a no-win situation. Low on health and pinned down by hunters, or too far from the base to defend the rocket in time, some players failed 30 or more times before finally giving up. To address the no-win situation, we extended our autosave system to monitor health over time, and to only perform the autosave if the player was deemed safe for a reasonable period of time. We also prohibited autosaves when Striders were within a certain distance of the base. This ensured there was always enough time to defeat them.
To create a climactic finish to this level, we ramped up Strider density and citizen presence, and then systematically destroyed outer installations in order to move the action as uncomfortably close to the base as possible. It was important to us that everybody be able to play to the end of the episode, but we also wanted them to feel that defeating the Striders required a heroic effort. A balance had to be achieved between the feeling of being overwhelmed and the possibility of completing the level. We made many trade-offs to keep the experience enjoyable while keeping the intensity high, and sometimes this required removing enemies. For example, elite Combine soldiers originally took part in this invasion, running in and around the Striders and Hunters, but this additional level of enemy fire proved frustrating for players, and so they were removed.
Hey, Gordon Freeman!
Good job, Gordon.
Wow! Thanks, Freeman! Thanks for clearing out the yard, Freeman. Heck of a job. Good going.
Wow, Gordon. You were amazing out there. Come on. In its final stages.
Telemetry data
the portal's close to opening, but Dr. Magnuson sure will be in time to stop it.
complete.
Tracking beacon. Oh, there's another bit of a cruft we can ignore. Support equipment powered down. Hold on a moment, Climber. Freeman. Well, I see the Magnuson device performed flawlessly. I feel compelled to thank you personally for saving my rocket. So, thank you. Well, that's enough chit-chat. I've got a rocket to launch.
Wow. For a minute there, I thought you were going to get a hug.
Powered and ready?
Check, check, check.
Let's go to the control room. We can get a great view of the launch from there.
Did you do that? What's this one? Flight termination system check links with backup range safety sites?
Oh, that must be an ancient entry. There are no backup sites. If we fail, the best we can hope is that the rocket falls on the enemy. Now, inertial navigation systems. Safety test of FTS.
Completed, of course.
Ground and high altitude winds.
Well, the precision of those readings is not to my liking, but we'll have to make do with what we have.
Guidance, computer voltages, and currents?
Reporting normal.
FTS switched over to internal power.
Naturally, some time ago.
And armed?
Of course.
Don't ever say of course. We can't take anything for granted.
No, of course not.
No. Avionics to internal power.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we are again. It constantly amazes me how many people are involved in creating her, because everyone who is involved seems to have the same vision for her. And for so many people to have one mind about a character, it blows my mind. I mean, very rarely do I get a piece of direction or script that doesn't ring true to how I feel about Alex, and vice versa. And strangely enough, as soon as I try something out and something doesn't ring true, I'm usually not the first person to say it. Even though I might be feeling it, somebody else will say it. And it's just, I guess, a testament to how in tune everybody is about what kind of person Alex is, and what she would do, what she wouldn't do, and, you know, what kind of girl she is. While you were out having fun, I found an old helicopter that I was able to get working. I've got it all packed up and ready to go. Never a dull moment, huh?
A helicopter.
Wait a moment. I'm seeing a payload anomaly of approximately 8.5 pounds.
Well, that's within tolerance. Certainly not worth scuttling up.
At last.
Ah, Gordon. Hell of a job you did out there, son.
Let's not forget that with the Magnuson device, those Striders practically destroy themselves.
Yes. Well, I think perhaps Gordon had something to do with their success.
I suggest we adjourn this meeting of the Mutual Admiration Society until after we have launched our rocket. Now, I believe we're ready to start the auto sequence.
I believe Gordon should have the honor.
You'll hear no objection from me.
It's all yours, Gordon.
The launch of Magnuson's rocket ties directly into the rocket Gordon launched at Black Mesa. Here, the portal satellite array that opened a gate to Xen in Half-Life 1 has been repurposed to shut the Combine out. This is just another example of the way we constantly try to weave the old threads of the Half-Life story into the new episodes.
No time to waste. Get right on it.
Ugh. Launch the nuke.
Silo doors open. Stations, everyone. Power to main thrusters. Steady on.
T-minus 10.
We're launching.
7, 6.
Steady. Steady.
3, 2,
We did it!
We sure did.
I was getting control of myself.
Fantastic.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Now it is still too early to celebrate. We need to reach altitude and transmit the signal.
Too right. The clock is ticking.
We couldn't have cut it any closer if that was our intention.
It is going to work, right?
It has to.
Once the rocket is in range of the portal, we'll be able to switch on the xenium resonator.
Well, let's get outside. I'd like a better view of the fireworks.
There should be quite a show. Regrettably, I can't come out with you. Magnuson and I will need to keep a close eye on the rocket's trajectory.
Aren't you going to see us off?
Just as soon as this is wrapped up, I wouldn't dream of letting you go without a proper goodbye.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. You too, Dr. Magnuson.
Indeed.
We'll catch up with you in a moment, sweetheart. Gordon, hold up a second.
There you are.
The more I think about that warning from our friend, the more I'm convinced it has to do with Borealis. Don't be deceived. That ship must never be used. You have got to destroy it, whatever the cost.
Where are you two? You're going to miss it.
Be right there, Alex. Gordon, thanks for everything you've done. For Alex, for all of us. I couldn't be prouder if you were my own son. Now, when you get back, we've got a lot to talk about.
Come on.
Oh, damn.
Gordon, Alex, look at the portal.
Has to work.
We've activated the resonator. This is it.
Oh,
My goodness.
yes.
The portal has been neutralized.
You did it.
Rocket.
You did it,
Oh, my
Gordon.
rocket.
We sure as hell did, and not a moment too soon.
I'll bet the Combine aren't too happy right now.
You got that right, sweetheart. But we've got plenty to celebrate. I wish you didn't have to head off so soon. If only it weren't so critical.
It's okay, Dad. We'll find Judith and bring her back. Dog? Hey, where are you? What a nut. Don't go too far. Well, there she is. Gassed up and ready to go.
Remember to keep in constant contact. We have no idea what to expect.
Don't worry, Dad. We'll be all right.
I just wish all this didn't have to fall on you, Alex. Your mother would be so proud.
Dad. Come on, Gordon. The chopper's waiting for us.
Episode 2's backgrounds or vistas are created in a manner that fuses traditional 2D animation techniques, using linear cards moving against each other to imply parallax, and a modern digital take which involves placing these cards in a 3D environment and manipulating their size and distance from camera depending on the scale needed. A series of cards can sit in front of a 3D skybox, and with the addition of atmosphere or fog, a realistic result can be achieved.
Developing the Half-Life episodes allows us to steadily flesh out the details in an ongoing cosmic struggle. Most of this conflict remains far in the background, but little by little we are able to bring new elements up front. One of our goals for Episode 2 was to fully develop the grub-like advisors first glimpsed in Half-Life 2. In Episode 1, they make several brief appearances but have no direct effect on the events in the game. In Episode 2, we deliberated on how soon to show them becoming active and decided to pull back the veil in stages. Therefore, we first see them being hauled around by Combine troops, completely passive. Next, We see one waking up from incubation, still somewhat groggy, and beginning to discover its power. But by the end of the episode, the advisors come fully into their own, front and center, as characters with a huge impact on the story.
This final episode 2 scene was unbelievable. Before we even started working on it, the team sat me down and they kind of did a little show and tell of the rough animation that they had. And I think they were hesitant to show it to me, but just from that rough animation, I was so moved. I mean, just immediately moved to tears. I felt like I'd just been gut punched, and I immediately felt it. And I was like, let's go. Let's get on this. So it shouldn't surprise me. It shouldn't surprise me by now, because I've been working on Alex for so long now. But every time we come to the table to do a new scene or lay down some new material, I am always blown away. And this scene was just the epitome of that feeling. I was so pumped to get in there and start working on it. And they're always upping the ante and always taking it to the next level. But this time, this scene is different. Because this time, Alex loses. And I think this is it is a major sacrifice. You see her carrying around the wounds of her mother that she lost, but her dad made her who she is. Her dad taught her dad groomed her, and I think, most importantly, he loved her. And this script was a gift and a gut punch all in one. I don't know. When you give me something like that, it really motivates me to kind of try to knock it out of the ballpark. I love playing Alex, and I have to say, it's definitely my favorite acting job I've ever had, hands down. This final...
To create the Eli death sequence, we talked it through in great detail, wrote up an outline with all the events we discussed, and then produced an animatic. We used rough sketches painted over screenshots and a variety of crude special effects and sounds to create a quick pre-visualization of how the scene would play out. Not only did this help us to converge on a shared vision for the scene, but by working rough, we were able to quickly iterate until we had a design worth implementing in the game.
The decision to kill Eli was not made lightly, and once we'd made it, we had to figure out how to make it meaningful. We'd already established Eli's frailty as well as his importance to the Resistance and Alex's devotion to him, so from a narrative point of view, the impact of his death seemed obvious. The hard part would be the execution. The advisor's ability to immobilize the player gave us a way to stage the scene. Then the animations and the sound design made it believable. But none of this would have been enough without inspired performances by Merle Dandridge and Robert Guillaume.
Are you sure you have everything you need?
I think so. Dr. Kleiner gave us the Borealis coordinates. We'll keep the hailing frequency open on the chopper radio in case Judith tries to reach us again.
Good idea. She could well make another attempt.
Oh no. Dad! Gordon!
Oh shit.
Dad!
Alex!
Dad! Oh. Get away!
Listen to me. Destroy that ship. Whatever it takes. Destroy it.
Don't! Dad, look out! No! Dad! Dad! God damn it, let go of him! Oh my God!
I love you, sweetheart. Close your eyes, honey.
I love you, Dad!
Don't look.
No! Oh my God, no! No! Gordon! No! Dad! Oh God! Dad! Dad! Dad, please! Dad! Oh my God! No! No! God.